And joining us now on Sports Plus is a true baseball hero, Buck O'Neil. Buck, welcome to St. Louis. The name of this book is called I Was Right on Time. Now, Buck, tell me, if you were born later and you were playing today, you'd be making millions of dollars. If you had played after, say, 1950 through the 60s, you probably would have been better known because integration had already taken place. And yet, the name of the book, I Was Right on Time. You really feel that way, don't you?
Yeah, well, and one thing about it is if I had come along today, if I had been playing now, I wouldn't have seen Ty Cobb. I wouldn't have played against Babe Ruth. I wouldn't have played against with Satchel Paige or Josh Gibson. Yeah, sure, I was right. Cool Papa Bell. Yeah, that was my era, and I was pretty successful in my era, and I really enjoyed it. And I think I had a little something to do with the change.
Now, how did it come that you were able to play against Babe Ruth?
All-star team. He had an all-star team, and that's where I got a chance to play against Ruth. And the amazing thing about this...
Now, this was at the end of the year. Your 2 seasons are over, and so it's the Negro League All-Stars against the Major League All-Stars.
And Ruth, quite a crackback. Well, what you got on this field, 2 of the greatest showmen that ever played, Satchel and Ruth. The right field fence must have been about 420 feet from home plate. And they had windbreakers, you know, the tall trees that they would grow for windbreakers. Ruth hit Satchel's first pitch over those trees. And Satchel looked at him as he rounded the bases. And guess who shook Ruth's hand when he reached home plate? Satchel was there to shake his hand. They stopped the ball game for 10 minutes for a kid to go out and get that ball, bring it back, so Ruth could autograph it for Satchel. Quite a show. People just hooping.
But you guys would hold your own against the Major League teams,
naturally. Yeah, because we was good, but the people just didn't know it. You know, the people didn't know it.
Right. Who was the best player you ever played with or against?
Oscar Charleston. Oscar Charleston. Oscar Charleston. Actually, what we say here is this, and I think Willie Mays was probably the best Major League Baseball player I ever saw. And we said the closest thing to Oscar Charleston was Willie Mays.
Wow.
Good player, could do it all.
Now, Oscar Charleston, I mean, we've heard of Josh Gibson. We have heard of Satchel Paige, of Buck O'Neil. We haven't heard of Oscar Charleston.
Oscar Charleston was before these guys. Oscar Charleston, oh, but man, you should have seen him play. He could do it all.
And you spent some time playing some ball here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
You're playing against Cool Papa Bell and Quincy Troop.
Yeah. I played the ball against Stan Musial here.
Did you? And I know Dizzy Dean too.
This was the Dizzy Dean All-Stars. We played right here against them. Because I saw first time. This is the first year. Stan Musial just coming up. You know, like September, the ball players come up, and here's this. The season's over, and here's this kid with the funny stance coming to hit Satchel up on that roof.
As a coach for the Cubs and a scout for the Cubs, you became very close with the people St. Louisans all know, Lou Brock.
Sure.
Now, you signed him as a scout, is that right?
Yeah.
And then you coached him and were his roommate, right?
Yeah.
Talk about him as a ball player, as a youngster, and what you saw in him.
Well, I saw that quickness. I saw that quickness because I saw him in his freshman year at Southern. So, you know, he's just learning how to play, but he would run under the balls and then stop and go back and catch it. You know, nobody else could do that. He'd misjudge him and go back and catch him. And I thought, ooh, that's a quick kid. That's a quick kid. And he could do all of these things that you look for. He had the tools. He had the quick bat, had the good hands, good feet. He had the things that you really look for.
And even though the Cubs gave up on him and traded in for the now infamous trade, as far as the Cubs are concerned, for Ernie Broglio, the famous trade as far as the Cardinals are concerned, you also signed not only Lou Brock, but Joe Carter as well for the Cubs.
Of course.
So yes, so you have an eye for talent too.
Well, and I was a scout, and you know what I mean. And I played baseball all my life, and I made my living at this. You know, 60 years I've been in baseball, man.
Right. You spend a lot of time now, and I know you did this morning, talking to kids. What do you tell them? What is the thing that they need to know?
Just be the best that they can be. Be the best that they can be, and they're living in the greatest country in the world. But you got to keep up. You're in competition with everybody else. You can't let somebody, some gang and stuff like that gonna ruin your life. You can't come up with dope and all that stuff. No, why? Why would you do that? If you want a high, man, hit a home run, steal a base, run for a run for a touchdown, dunk a basketball. You know what I mean? Be an A student. That's natural highs, man.
The name of the book is I Was Right on Time by Buck O'Neil. And Buck, thanks very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure being here.
Thanks for sharing some of the great stories from the old Negro Leagues. I Was Right on Time again by Buck O'Neil. And we'll be right back.